Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Natasya Binti Muhammad Domi from BA24948A. My metric number is 2022988301. So, I will discuss about introduction of fatwa. Let's start it. A fatwa is a legal opinion or order on a certain problem in Islamic law, which calls Sharia, that is given by a trained Islamic expert as a mufti. The word fatwa comes from the Arabic words, which means to tell someone something or make a formal ruling. Most of the time, fatwa are made in reaction to questions or worries asked by people who want to know more about Islamic law. Fatwas talk about a lot of different things like religion, society, ethics, and the law. People can choose to accept the ruling or get different advice from other experts, so it's not always binding. A fatwa's powers depend on how qualified and well-known the teacher is who issues it. When religious leaders in some countries issues fatwas, those fatwas are sometimes seen as law in that country. Fatwas or Islamic legal views include many life topics and may be categorized. They cover prayers and fasting, transaction and business ethics, family, private and status matters like marriage and divorce, ethical conduct and morality, social interaction, bioethical and medical issues, criminal law, political and governance issues, and contemporary challenges. Qualified Islamic scholars give fatwas to help Muslims live Islamically. Different Islamic schools of thought and societies may recognize fatwas, which people may seek to guarantee their activities comply with Islamic beliefs. So, our group analyzed the fatwa on using the cigarettes and vapes from the sources of Fatwa Negeri Johor and Majlis Fatwa Kebangsaan. The relevant kawaid fiqhiyah with this problem is Maxim 20, which is harm is to be eliminated. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuha Binti Jamal Nasir. I will present about introduction of cigarette and vape. Now we will proceed about the introduction of vaping and cigarette. What is a cigarette? Cigarette is the traditional smoking, like a tiny cylinder or cut tobacco roller in paper for smoking. It is the thing that involves the burning tobacco, which is the produced smoke that is directly inhaled. Cigarette deliver nicotine through the combustion of tobacco. You can see at the small picture, this is the tobacco leaf. So, people burn this leaf to make the ingredient of cigarette. Next is a vape. What is a vape? Vape is the innovation from the traditional cigarette into the modern cigarette that we call it electronic cigarette. Vaping involves the inhaled vapor from the electronic device that can rechargeable and also create a gas. By heating a liquid, which subsequently inhaled, by typical contain nicotine, flavoring and other substances. The general flavor that create for vaping is vanilla, grape, strawberry and more. But some research say that the vaping often considered less harmful than smoking, but long-term effects are still under research. But we should know both of these bring a heart risk and harm our certain organ, especially lungs, our main respiratory organ in our body.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuha binti Zabidi. In today's presentation, I will be present about the reasons why cigarettes and vapes are prohibited. Smoking is also prohibited for common reason. With Ittihad Illiya, it was because cigarettes are subjected to chaos. These reasons include harming one's religions, life, intellect, wealth, and lineage. In cigarettes include harmful materials like alcohol, propylene, liquor, pure liquid nicotine, and glycerin. It also resulting in delusion and addiction, inducing a range of illness, including cancer, and polluting the environment, also endangering the health of those in the vicinity. According to expert opinions, vaping is dangerous like smoking. The main argument against vaping and cigarettes is that they both are linked to serious health risks. Next, we move into the sources of fatwa on the use of cigarettes and vape. The 93rd meeting of the Federal Territory Sharia Legal Consultative Committee held on August 25, 2015 discussed matters related to the legality of using electronic cigarettes, shisha and shisha sticks. The fatwa religious ruling is as follows. The act of using electronic cigarettes, shisha and shisha stick is prohibited haram because it brings harm to the human body. Next, Allah also said in Surah Al-Baqarah ayat 195, which means, and do not throw yourself with your own hands into destruction aligns with the fiqhiyah principle, harm must be eliminated. In response to the question of whether or not to use electronic cigarettes, Sheikh Muhammad Saleh Al-Munajjid said that the Islamic teachings on the matter holds that both traditional and electronic cigarettes are haram. He emphasized that moving from traditional to electronic cigarettes does not help people want to stop smoking, and the harm is still there. Electronic cigarettes are considered haram due to their harmful effects. By Sheikh Osman Al-Khamis, Islam rejects anything harmful in order to safeguard the community's general well-being.
So my name is Zhafiratul Zaidi. I will explain about the sources of fatwa on the use in cigarettes and vaping by state fatwa. This issue elaborated by Mufti of Johor said cigarettes and vaping are prohibited because his state is not allowed in Islamic law. Making is haram. Professor Dr. Description Abdul support above statement. He found 4,000 different kinds of chemical in every cigarettes. The Quranic sources addressing issue related to cigarettes and vaping can be found in Surah Al-Baqarah 195. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وأنفقوا في سبيل الله ولا تلقوا بأيديكم إلا تحلقة الأحسنون إن الله يحب المحسنين. Instruction: and spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and do not throw yourself with your own hand into destruction by referring, and do good in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala love those of goods. From Surah Al-Baqarah 195, we can reflect on the significance of our spending when we spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He deeply loves His servants. However, spending on frivolous method is akin to throwing ourselves into destruction. Therefore, it's crucial to be cautious in our expenditure. The Mufti Johor also found Al-Hadith Prophet Muhammad SAW said, La dur wa la dural. The hadith show the prohibition of doing harm is general. These cigarettes vaping cases are clearly have adverse effect on the health of the body. For example, lungs cancer, heart disease, stroke, and others. Talk about spending, of course, into destruction. The reason why inhalation and vaping can bring health harms. Moreover, items of maslahah and strategy are also flowing in finding result in cigarettes and vaping. The Mufti of Johor said the regulation vaping and electronic cigarettes use is a kind of maslahah. This is due to the fact that vaping and using electronic cigarettes has a number of drawbacks and negative consequences. Lastly, Mufti Johor concludes, effects to people if used to this vape will create a society with moral and personality clothes, especially amongst the younger generation as well as women who are smoking vape without any sense of shame and shines.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Illiya Natasya binti Ahmad Khair, and I will present the relevant qawaid fiqhiyah. This fatwa is related with Maxim 20, also known as Major Maxim 4, which is Adarul Yuzal, which means harm must be eliminated. Moreover, the lawgiver enacts all of the Sharia decision to either ensure advantage, maslahah, or avoid damage, mafsadah. This maxim might be seen as encompassing half of the Sharia. The goal, maqsad of the Sharia is to protect people from harm, and this maxim in Islamic law will ensure to protect religion, life, progeny, intelligence, dignity, or wealth. Furthermore, in keeping with the principle of avoiding harm, doror, and conserving one's well-being, smoking is typically prohibited because of the harm it does to health. Additionally, a person can be harmed by human acts or other causes, but the main intent in doror in this maxim in the harm caused by humans. As everyone knows, smoking, cigarettes or vaping are very dangerous and will affect the health. Besides that, in this maxim have 4 criteria that are applicable as a harm. First, the harm should be confirmed and certain. Second, the harm must be excessive, fahish. Third, the harm must be unjustified or unlawful. And lastly, the harm must interrupt a valid maslahah. So, the use of cigarettes and vapes is fulfill the last criteria, which is the harm must interrupt a valid maslahah. Why? This is because consuming people will wrongfully inflict harm on them. A person who knows he is being harmed in a transaction will not freely give his consent to it. So, in a conclusion, the use of cigarettes and vapes is often discouraged due to their harmful health effect and potential harm to oneself and others. Islamic scholars may issue fatwa advising against smoking based on principle of preserving health, avoiding harm, and fulfilling one's duty to maintain well-being. Furthermore, both cigarettes and vape products pose serious health risks. Moreover, smoking cigarettes is associated with various diseases including cancer and respiratory disorder, while vaping, often considered a less harmful alternative, is not without risk, as it can still have negative effects on lung health. Thus, it is advisable to avoid both cigarettes and vape products to prioritize overall well-being and reduce the potential for long-term health issues.